Once upon a time, in a small village nestled in the heart of a vast, dense forest, there lived a young girl named Rose. Rose was an orphan, taken in by a kind woman who ran a small bakery in the village. She had a passion for writing, and often spent her days scribbling in her notebook, weaving intricate stories of far-off lands and mythical creatures. But as much as Rose loved writing, she knew that it could never be more than a hobby. She was an orphan, with no family or connections to speak of, and the village was a small, insular place, where opportunities were few and far between. Rose knew that if she ever wanted to escape the confines of the village and make something of herself, she would need to be disciplined. And so, she made a promise to herself to work harder than anyone else, to push herself to the limit and never give up on her dreams. At first, it wasn't easy. Rose would wake up early in the morning, before the sun had even risen, and spend hours writing and studying. She would take breaks only to eat and attend school, which she knew was important to maintain her discipline and stay on the right path. But as the days went on, Rose found that the more she pushed herself, the easier it became. Soon, Rose's hard work began to pay off. Her grades improved dramatically, and her writing became more and more polished. Her teacher, Mrs. Jenkins, noticed her talent and took her under her wing, encouraging her to enter writing contests and submit her work to local newspapers. But despite her successes, Rose knew that she still had a long way to go. She wanted to become a famous author, to see her name in print and share her stories with the world. And she knew that if she wanted to achieve that dream, she would need to be even more disciplined than before. And so, she set to work, waking up earlier and staying up later, pushing herself harder than ever before. She would write for hours on end, sometimes even skipping meals or forgetting to sleep, so consumed was she by her passion and her drive to succeed. At times, Rose's dedication to her craft seemed almost fanatical. She would turn down invitations to social events or miss school functions, citing her need to write as an excuse. And some of the villagers began to worry that Rose was becoming too obsessed, that she was losing herself in her quest for success. But Rose didn't let their criticism get to her. She knew what she wanted, and she was willing to do whatever it took to get there. Years went by, and Rose grew older, but her dedication never wavered. She continued to work tirelessly on her writing, submitting her work to any publication that would take it, attending writing workshops and conferences, and even self-publishing a few of her own books. At times, it was hard. The rejections piled up, and the stress of constantly striving for success began to wear on her. But Rose never gave up. She knew that discipline was the key to achieving her dreams, and she was determined to succeed, no matter what the cost. And then, one day, it happened. A famous publisher stumbled upon one of Rose's stories and was so impressed by it that they offered her a book deal on the spot. Rose was overjoyed, but she knew that this was just the beginning. She would need to work even harder now, to prove that she was worth the investment and to continue to produce quality work. And so she did, pouring all her energy and discipline into her writing. And over time, her books became more and more successful, each one garnering more critical acclaim and sales than the last. Rose became a household name, a celebrated author who inspired millions with her stories of adventure, love, and hope. She traveled the world, speaking at literary events and meeting her fans, who came from all corners of the globe to see her in person. But despite all her success, Rose never forgot where she came from. She remained humble and grounded, always remembering the lessons that she had learned as a young girl in the village. And she continued to work hard, always striving to improve her craft and give her readers the very best that she had to offer. As she grew older, Rose became a mentor to other aspiring writers, passing on the wisdom and discipline that had served her so well over the years. And she continued to write, always looking for new stories to tell, new worlds to explore, and new characters to bring to life. In the end, Rose knew that discipline had been the key to her success. Without it, she never would have been able to achieve her dreams, to overcome the obstacles that stood in her way, and to become the writer that she had always wanted to be. And so, she continued to live her life with discipline, always pushing herself to be the very best that she could be, and inspiring others to do the same. For Rose knew that if she could do it, anyone could, if only they had the discipline to see it through.